Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Verlyn. I do a variety of videos, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So I know it's been about 4 months since I've been MIA, you guys, and I know I promised that I wasn't gonna go missing again. But since my last video, there was a situation that took place that I actually had to step away and regroup and refocus because it wasn't positive and it kind of put me in a real gray space. So I feel you guys deserve an explanation to what happened, but I am ready to jump back on here and share content with my lovely YouTube family, and let's end out the year pretty strong. So let's jump right in. Okay, I'm gonna try not to make this too long, you guys. I'm gonna try to just summarize what took place. There's a lot of things that I can't really go into details with because I am still working with the company. So I'm just gonna give you guys a kind of rundown, I guess, of what took place. Okay, I'll start off by saying I am no longer a nurse navigator. Unfortunately, I did have to step away from that position, and here's why. Right after I posted my last YouTube video, there was a situation that took place that rubbed me the wrong way. And it made me have to say that I am going to step away from this position, and I did turn in my 2 weeks. Now, after turning in my 2 weeks, I did meet with management, the director of clinicals, who she offered me another position, which I love, and I did end up staying with the company, but I did, step away from the nurse navigator position. And this is why. When I first started the position, I did notice a few things that made me have to side eye, some people on my team. I would always be like, did she just say that? Did I just hear that? And for me, it was just something that it didn't sit well with me. Okay, like certain things just didn't sit well with me. But as a new nurse, and as a new oncology nurse, and as a new nurse to the team, I didn't want to be that person to complain, because I did see that there were other people on my team that just took everything that was said to them or took certain treatments, and I'm just like, okay, I guess this is how things run in this team. But I knew for me it was just going to be a matter of time before I had to walk away. I'm not going to sit there and allow anybody to be racist towards me. And that was one of the things that I quickly realized was happening within my team. Now, my team was a diverse team, and a lot of slick things would be said, and it would go unaddressed. And then I started to realize that, and these slick things were being said by the Caucasian people that were part of the team. Okay, I'll say that much. And they would say things to the other cultures or the other people, and nobody would say nothing. Like, it would be like, oh, that's how she is, or that's how she gets. And I'm just like, no, that's not cool. That may be how she is, but there's things that's cool and there's things that's not cool. Okay, for example, when I walk into a room, I say good morning, I say good afternoon, I say good night. When I moved to Houston, I quickly realized that people here was not going to respond, but that didn't change me, and that never changed how I am in terms of showing respect. Those are things that you could say, that's how she is. I'm going to always say good morning. I'm going to always say good afternoon. I'm going to always say good night. But when you're throwing slick racist jabs at your teammates, then that needs to be addressed, right? So I'm learning about my position, and I'm trying to get as much information as I can, because of course this that position required you to be educated on your stuff because you had to turn around and educate the patients. But during my time of seeing patients and getting a chance to actually work with my patients, I quickly realized that I was not seeing my full patient load. I had about 4 clinics that were mine, or 4 offices, I would say, that belonged to me under my, how you say, like my coverage. And I was only being given a certain set of patients. And I'm like, I'm only seeing the more darker patients. I'm only seeing patients that are less, I don't know how to say it, like we have like a thing at work where it's like, okay, like there's high valued patients because in terms of like HIPAA and certain things that we can't put out there, but there's other patients that fall in like a different tax bracket. And I quickly realized that I wasn't getting none of those patients. Those patients may have been popping up on my roster, but for some reason, when it's time to meet with patients, I wasn't getting those patients. There was another nurse navigator, and she was also Black. And I didn't know how to present the question to her. Like, hey, have you noticed that you don't get this? You don't get those patients, or is it just me? Or have you noticed that there's certain comments that are being made? And she didn't work in my office. She worked in a totally different office. But, I wanted to ask her, like, hey, is it just me that's feeling this way? Until one day she actually asked me if I noticed that that is how we were being treated. It just happened to be that a few days after that, her and I were in the conference room, and there was a phone call that came in, and we pretty much heard, loud and clear that it was said that they can talk to the patients because the patient is Black. And at that moment, I knew that this position was no longer for me. I knew that I needed to walk away. You're not going to be racist towards me. You're not going to be racist towards me. You're not going to treat me less than because I am a Black nurse. You're not going to treat me less than because I'm a new nurse. You're not going to treat me less than because I am a nurse that comes from the Virgin Islands, or I was born in the Virgin Islands. And you're not going to treat me less than because you're not going to treat me less than. And you're not going to be racist towards me because you're not going to be racist towards me. There's way too many nurse positions out there that need to be filled. So if I was to sit in a position and not speak up for myself, I would be doing myself and the other Black nurses an injustice, right? Not gonna happen. So I quickly regrouped. I had a conversation with my husband, and I was like, hey, this happened. I don't know how to feel about it. The other Black nurse went off. She lost her marbles, okay? She went off, okay? But I had the conversation with my husband, and I was like, hey, I don't know if this position is going to be for me. I love what I do. I really enjoy helping these patients. I really enjoy, being there for them at that time, whether it's end of life or they're recovering. But the environment and the team that I am a part of, I can't do it anymore because there is no way how that is what's being said. And I knew I wasn't losing my mind, and I knew I wasn't going crazy when I would notice little things are being done and when other little things were being said. And then when I started realizing that I wasn't really getting all my patients on my roster, and that right there confirmed all my suspicions, all my, I know she didn't say that, right? So started looking for another job. I turned my 2 weeks in. The other nurse actually left as well. I turned my 2 weeks in, I think like a week after hers, but I was asked to stay. My good work, my great work, my awesome work was recognized by the company. Everybody saw how much I cared for my patients and the passion that I actually had for oncology. So it really was a shock when I turned in my 2 weeks. And I do feel like that is why I was asked to stay and I was given another position within the company. I did have some things that I wanted in terms of like my own office space, a raise. I wanted to work independently on my own. I didn't want to be part of like a buddy team anymore. And I actually got everything I asked for. So I am so happy that I decided to stand up for myself, because I very much did tell them what was going on. I told them what was said, and the other little things that happened prior to that, I did make them aware of it. Come to find out that I wasn't the only person that was feeling that way, and there were other nurses before me who had actually left that position due to the same reasons or very similar reasons. So I am so glad that I decided to stand up for myself and speak up. I was a bit sad that I'm not in that position anymore, but I really enjoy the position that I am in now. I do get to still help my patients. I still get to talk to them. I'm more a part of their hands-on care. I'm more part of like the infusion and their chemo, and if they need transfusions, like I'm very much a part of what takes place on a day-to-day basis for them versus what happens like afterwards, or like home health and things like that. I'm more like in the mix now, and I'm very happy and grateful for the opportunity to do that. So I just wanted to come on and share that with you guys. After that situation, it really did put me in a gray space. I didn't feel too good. I was so upset because I had just shared with you guys that I was in this position, and I was sharing with you guys, how great the position was. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a nurse navigator. It's just that the team was not the right team for me. But I'm back, you guys. I'm ready to put out content. I do want to take my channel in a different direction. Most of my content is really nursing related, and I kind of want to shift things a little bit and kind of share more of a day-to-day life with you guys. I am thinking of doing more weekly vlogs where I kind of share like what happens throughout my week. Also, just more me stuff. That way I can share nursing stuff, but I can share stuff about me. Don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and of course, like my video for more content. I am back, you guys. Let's end out the year strong. We are slowly growing. I am on the road to 1,000, and I'm super excited about that. I can't wait. And I just want to go ahead and thank each and every one of you guys who have watched my video, who have shared, who have commented. I appreciate it all. And we are on the road, you guys. 1,000. We're almost there. And yeah, if you have any questions for me, leave them below and I will answer them. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.